It was a crisp December evening in Manhattan, and Jennifer Lopez was having one of those rare, quiet nights. Her schedule had been a whirlwind of concerts, movie shoots, and family obligations. But tonight, with the holidays approaching, she found herself curled up on her plush velvet sofa, sipping a steaming mug of peppermint hot chocolate. The twinkling lights of her immaculately decorated Christmas tree reflected in the floor-to-ceiling windows of her penthouse apartment. "This is nice," Jennifer murmured to herself, sinking deeper into the cushions. She'd spent years chasing dreams and dazzling on stages, but moments like these, quiet, serene, and full of holiday magic, were becoming increasingly precious. Just as she began to drift into a reverie, the doorbell chimed. Jennifer frowned. She wasn't expecting anyone, and her security team hadn't called to alert her about a visitor. Rising to her feet, she wrapped herself in a fluffy white cardigan and padded toward the door. When she opened it, she found a young woman standing there, holding a package wrapped in bright red paper and a golden bow. The woman's cheeks were flushed from the cold, and her scarf was slightly askew. "Hi, Ms. Lopez," the woman said, smiling nervously. "I'm sorry to bother you, but this package was delivered to my building by mistake, and the address is yours. I figured I'd bring it over." Jennifer's eyebrows lifted in surprise. "Oh, wow. Thank you so much. That's incredibly kind of you. What's your name?" "Maya," the woman replied, shuffling awkwardly. "Big fan, by the way." Jennifer grinned. "Well, Maya, come in for a minute. It's freezing out there." Maya hesitated, then stepped inside, her eyes widening as she took in the opulent decor. "Wow, your place is gorgeous." "Thanks," Jennifer said, closing the door behind her. "Would you like some hot chocolate? I just made a fresh pot." "Oh, I couldn't impose," Maya said quickly, though her expression betrayed how tempting the offer was. "Nonsense," Jennifer said, waving her hand dismissively. "It's Christmas. Sharing is part of the season." A few minutes later, the two women were sitting in the cozy living room, mugs of hot chocolate warming their hands. Maya's initial nervousness had faded, and she was chatting animatedly about how much she loved Jennifer's music and movies. "You're such an inspiration," Maya said. "I mean, you've done it all. Singing, acting, dancing, fashion, and you still find time for your family. How do you manage it?" Jennifer chuckled. "Honestly, it's a balancing act. Some days are easier than others. But I try to stay grounded and remind myself why I started doing all this in the first place. It's about connecting with people, sharing stories, and hopefully bringing a little joy into the world." Maya nodded, her eyes shining. "Well, you've definitely done that for me." Jennifer smiled warmly. "That means a lot, Maya." "Thank you." As they sipped their drinks, Jennifer glanced at the package Maya had delivered. It was addressed to her, but there was no return address. Curiosity piqued, she reached for it and began to carefully unwrap the paper. Inside was a beautifully crafted snow globe. Encased in the glass was a miniature version of New York City, complete with tiny skyscrapers, yellow taxis, and a skating rink at Rockefeller Center. When Jennifer shook it gently, glittery snow swirled around the scene, and a soft melody began to play. "Have yourself a merry little Christmas." "Oh, this is lovely," Jennifer said, holding it up for Maya to see. Maya's brow furrowed. "Who do you think sent it?" "I'm not sure," Jennifer admitted, turning the globe over to check for a note or inscription. "But it's beautiful." As the melody continued to play, a faint, shimmering light began to emanate from the globe. Jennifer and Maya exchanged puzzled glances, and then, before they could say a word, the room was filled with a dazzling flash. When the light faded, Jennifer and Maya found themselves standing in the middle of Rockefeller Center. Only it wasn't quite the Rockefeller Center of today. The air was filled with the scent of roasted chestnuts, and the people milling about were dressed in vintage 1940s attire. A massive Christmas tree towered above them, adorned with old-fashioned ornaments and large, colorful bulbs. "What just happened?" Maya whispered, clutching Jennifer's arm. Jennifer looked around, her heart racing. I think the snow globe transported us here." "Here?" Maya repeated. "Where is here?" "It looks like Rockefeller Center, but in the past," Jennifer said, marveling at the scene. "Maybe the 1940s. Before they could process further, a group of carolers began to sing, their harmonized voices filling the air with Christmas cheer. A man in a fedora tipped his hat to them as he passed, and a little boy with a wooden sled stopped to gawk at them. "How to get back," Maya said, her voice tinged with panic. "Agreed," Jennifer said. "But first, let's not stand out any more than we already do." They ducked into a nearby shop and, after some explaining and a bit of charm on Jennifer's part, managed to borrow a pair of vintage coats and hats. Once they were suitably disguised, they stepped back outside to explore. As they wandered through the festive streets, Jennifer couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder. There was something magical about experiencing Christmas in a bygone era. The simplicity, the sense of community, it was enchanting. Eventually, they found themselves at a small toy store, its window display filled with handcrafted dolls, trains, and other trinkets. A kindly old shopkeeper greeted them as they entered. "Merry Christmas, ladies," he said with a warm smile. "What brings you in today?" Jennifer hesitated, then decided to take a chance. "Actually, we're looking for something unusual. A snow globe, to be exact." The shopkeeper's eyes twinkled. "Ah, you must mean one of Old Man Waverly's creations. He's the only one in the city who makes snow globes like that." "Do you know where we can find him?" Maya asked eagerly. "Sure do," the shopkeeper said, scribbling an address on a piece of paper. "He's got a workshop over on 34th Street. Tell him Gus sent you." Jennifer and Maya thanked the man and hurried off, their borrowed coats flapping in the chilly wind. When they arrived at the workshop, they found a small, unassuming building with a sign that read, "Waverly's Wonders." Inside, the space was filled with shelves of intricate snow globes, each one more elaborate than the last. Behind a workbench sat an elderly man with a bushy white beard, meticulously assembling a new creation. "Mr. Waverly?" Jennifer ventured. The man looked up, his eyes sharp and knowing. "Ah, you must be the travelers." Jennifer and Maya exchanged startled glances. "You know who we are?" Maya asked. "Of course," Waverly said, setting down his tools. "I've been expecting you. The snow globe you received was meant to bring you here." "Why?" Jennifer asked. "What are we supposed to do?" Waverly smiled. "Sometimes people need a reminder of what the holiday season is truly about. You've spent so much time bringing joy to others, Jennifer, but you've forgotten how to let yourself experience it fully. And Maya, you've been so focused on chasing after others' dreams that you've neglected your own." Maya's eyes widened. "How do you know that?" "Let's just say I have a knack for these things," Waverly said with a wink. "Now, the question is, what will you do with this opportunity?" Jennifer thought for a moment, then smiled. "I think we'll make the most of it." Over the next several hours, Jennifer and Maya immersed themselves in the magic of 1940s New York. They helped Waverly deliver snow globes to children in need, spreading holiday cheer wherever they went. They joined a group of carolers, sang their hearts out, and even skated at the Rockefeller Center rink. As the night wore on, Jennifer felt a warmth in her chest that she hadn't felt in years. She realized that, in her quest to make every Christmas perfect for others, she'd lost sight of the simple joys that made the season special. When it was finally time to return, Waverly handed Jennifer the snow globe. "Just shake it when you're ready," he said. "Thank you," Jennifer said sincerely. "For everything." Waverly nodded, his eyes twinkling. "Merry Christmas, Jennifer." "Merry Christmas, Maya." With one last look at the enchanting 1940s streetscape, Jennifer shook the globe. In an instant, she and Maya were back in Jennifer's penthouse, the modern city skyline glittering outside the windows. "That was incredible," Maya said, her voice filled with awe. Jennifer nodded, clutching the snow globe tightly. "It really was." From that day forward, Jennifer made a promise to herself to embrace the magic of the season, not just for others, but for herself as well. And every year she kept the snow globe on her mantle as a reminder of the night she rediscovered the true meaning of Christmas.